Much like The Rock and Vin Diesel, Jason Statham has been a staple to action movies since he first donned the role of Bacon in Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels. And with many famous franchises like The Transporter and The Fast and Furious in his back pocket, it's really no wonder that he's one of the most beloved actors of our generation. But what does someone like Jason Statham spend his money on? And how much of experts estimate his net worth to be nowadays anyway? Well, whether you're a fan of the charming action star or just want to know more about the lifestyle that he lives, stay right where you are, as we're about to explore everything there is to know about the one and only Jason Statham. So strap yourselves in and get ready for an informative ride, as things are about to get interesting. But before we get into it, make sure to leave a like and subscribe with notifications turned on, so you don't miss out on any of our new videos we post. A little more about Jason. Jason Statham was born in Derbyshire, England, on the 26th of July 1967, which makes him 53 years old at the moment. His early childhood was, however, one full of strife and trouble. His mother, Eileen Yates, was a dancer, while his father, Barry Statham, was a street vendor who also took on odd jobs as painter, coal miner, and singer in the Canary Islands. When Jason decided to move to Great Yarmouth, Norfolk, he initially chose to follow his own path, practicing a number of martial arts styles with the intention of using focused combat to get his head screwed on straight. Statham grew up alongside famous footballer Vinnie Jones, who got him interested in football and had him play for the local grammar school that he attended. It wasn't just football that caught Jason Statham's attention, but the intricate art of driving as well. According to Sports, he would practice his techniques whenever he had a free second to himself, showing just how much dedication he had at an early age. He later became a member of the Britain's national swimming squad, which he stayed on for a grand total of 12 years. He even competed for England in the 1990 Commonwealth Games in the 10-meter, 3-meter, and 1-meter competitions. When asked about his time with the team, he said that it was an incredible experience that taught him more than he thought about discipline and focus. He also mentioned that it did wonders for keeping him out of trouble. With him not wanting to lose his position on the squad, the media started to notice Statham when he was spotted by the agency Sports Promotion, specializing in sport modeling, while he was training. This resulted in him getting signed on by Tommy Hilfiger, Griffin, and Levi for a number of modeling gigs that he absolutely smashed out of the park. He even ended up becoming a model for the clothing brand French Connection, with a spokesperson for the brand mentioning that they chose Jason because of his ability to look like a normal guy. Despite all of his accomplishments up to that point, Statham was still forced to follow in his father's footsteps in an attempt to make ends meet. This resulted in him selling fake perfume and jewelry on street corners. He also made an extra buck by appearing on music videos such as Run to the Sun by Erasure and Dream a Little Dream of Me by the Beautiful South. But it was his modeling for French Connection that introduced him to Guy Ritchie, who was in the process of developing a film that required the casting of a street-smart con artist. After learning about Statham's past as a black market salesman, Ritchie cast him in his first role as Bacon in the 1999 crime comedy Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels. Because of an incredible performance by Statham, Ritchie decided to use him once more in the film Snatch, where Statham played the role of Turkish. Considering how Snatch allowed him to appear alongside some of the most famous actors of the time, including the likes of Brad Pitt and Benicio del Toro, his rise to prominence was almost expected, so it didn't surprise the world when he went on to act in other properties, such as the science fiction horror Ghosts of Mars. It was only a few years later with his role in The One that Hollywood really noticed how great Statham was in action roles. Since he had trained in a variety of martial arts growing up, he had a knack for picking up choreography and didn't mind taking a punch when the situation called for it. This resulted in him landing one of his most famous roles, which is when he took on the character of Frank Martin in the Transporter franchise, which was basically John Wick with car dashes. Statham is known to take on roles that make a mockery of the action genre and himself in general, not really caring whether a film is going to be a box office success or not. This can be seen for his role in the Crank franchise, which ended up becoming a cult classic of sorts because of just how ridiculous it was. Statham acts for the fun of it, and it's because of his immense talent to pull just about anything off that he has made a pretty comfortable life for himself. Great to hear considering where he actually ended up coming from. Jason's net worth. Although Jason Statham was a world-renowned driver and sports model before he took the acting world by storm, it's clear that he didn't make much money from his prior endeavors. The fact that he had to resort to selling fake items on the black market of England speaks bounds to how he was not paid enough by the English national team and various modeling gigs that he was able to secure for himself. But now that Statham is a world-class actor who is known to have appeared in some of the greatest movie franchises of all time, there is no doubt that he has made quite a bit of bank in the process. In fact, experts estimate that his current net worth is around $90 million US, which makes him one of the wealthiest celebrity action stars that Earth has ever seen. It also means that he can afford to buy some of the craziest things that are on sale across the globe. So what does someone like Jason spend his hard-earned cash on? Well, let's take a look. Number 1, his mansion in Beverly Hills. It may be true that Jason Statham doesn't look it, but the man is already 53 years old, and as a result has been around the block quite a few times when it comes to being wealthy. And as many wealthy people will tell you, there is no better way to spend on yourself than buying yourself some property in an affluent area. The housing market is considered by many to be one of the best investments someone can make. After all, with immovable property appreciating value over time rather than depreciating, simply put, this means that the property bought on a specific day is more likely to be worth a few more years later than less. This is why a great number of celebrities end up buying huge mansions, as these can be sold later for a profit, especially in Statham's case, where the real estate agent is able to indicate that the property was formerly owned by an incredible action star. So it shouldn't surprise you to hear that Jason Statham and his beautiful wife, Rosie Huntington Whiteley, went ahead and purchased an incredible mansion in Beverly Hills for around $13 million US, making it one one of the most expensive properties on the market. The 7,200 square foot mansion was actually once spotlighted in the Architectural Digest for featuring a futuristic approach to rustic living. As such, the inside of the mansion is incredibly spacious with touches of wood, glass, marble, and travertine. Built in 1983, the property consists of 5 gigantic bedrooms, 8 bathrooms, 2 solar heated pools, tall hedges for extra privacy and security, as well as an enormous living area that is perfect for a relaxing game night in front of the fire. Statham and his family clearly enjoyed their time in quarantine, with more space than anyone could ever imagine. Number 2, his car collection. As a member of the Fast and the Furious franchise, it won't surprise you to hear that Jason Statham is a bit of a fanatic when it comes to exotic automobiles. In fact, he has on many occasions referred to himself as a gearhead who likes to have options when it comes to arriving at an appointment in style. This is why he has spent quite a bit of his net worth on an impressive car collection, which is reported to be worth a few $1,000,000. One of his favorite cars in his collection is his jet black Audi R8, which he likes so much that he ended up buying another one in white. At least that way he could grab whichever one fit how he was feeling on that day. For those of you who don't know, the R8 is considered to be one of the Audi's flagship vehicles, which is able to hit 60 miles per hour in just 4 seconds. In other words, Statham has absolutely no excuse to be late for anything with these beasts under his control. He also owns a Jaguar E-Type, which is a classic automobile that screams James Bond whenever you see Statham drive it on the road. Another beast in his collection is the Lamborghini Murcielago LP that he tested for the first time when driving it on the set of The Transporter. He liked the car so much that he bought his own orange version, which looks as beautiful as it is fast, reaching 60 miles per hour in only 3.4 seconds. The wealthy actor also owns a Porsche 911 GT2, Aston Martin DBS, and Jaguar XJR. Quite a few options, right? Number 3, lavish vacations. Last but not least, Jason Statham is the epitome of the statement, work hard, play hard. For as much as he loves to impress on set, he also appreciates the feeling of a lavish vacation every now and again. Since he doesn't quite own a private jet, at least not yet, he has been photographed on various occasions at the airport, where he would fly first class with his family to a great many holiday destinations scattered around the world. According to reports, Statham doesn't like to relax on the beach when it comes to vacationing either. Both he and his wife have been known to enjoy the action-adventure side of traveling, keeping active with the rest of the family, while taking in the sights of a foreign land. And when you work as hard as Jason Statham does, you most definitely deserve it. What do you think of the lifestyle that Statham lives? Feel free to let us know in the comment section down below.